Chakshur unmilitam jena tasmai Shri Gurave namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschachardesha Tarane Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So welcome to our Kirtan Guidelines presentation from ISKCON Kirtan Ministry. Based on the teachings of His Divine Grace Srila Abhay Charanarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Before we start, an appeal to devotees, please come forward. It will make it easier to present. Thank you so much for your kindness. So the golden rule, the most important sound in the Kirtan is the congregational chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So the chanting should never be overpowered by the instruments. And what is that main chanting? Our Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Kirtan leaders, preferably ISKCON initiated devotees in good standing, chanting at least 16 rounds. Can we get the second microphone moving? And following 4 regulative principles. Or if not initiated, at least following 4 regulative principles. Because some devotees, especially in Western countries, they want to encourage the new devotees to lead Kirtan and chant. But we want, at least they should be appreciatively following 4 regulative principles and striving for bhakti yoga. Okay, we have a microphone here. If I keep reading, it's going to be very boring. So I want the microphone to go around and devotees can take turns reading. Can I have the mic, please? Let's start here. Do you mind? Rabina? Rabin, yeah, go ahead.
Appearance, preferably a clean and simple dress, face shaven with a Gaudiya Vaishnava tilak.
Yeah, Prabhupada encouraged devotees to shave. He said, Lord Chaitanya came to save ya and also to shave ya. So we want to encourage devotees to shave and wear simple dress, not fancy. The deities can dress fancy, we should dress simple. Then next, dress code.
For men, a dhoti kurta and chadar are encouraged. For women, saris or gopi dress and shawl are encouraged. Short and other revealing clothes are discouraged.
Yeah, no 3/4 pant, right? So sometimes devotees, they lead kirtan in this is especially for temple room kirtans. Temple room standards, it's like part of the puja for the deity. So highest standards should be there. Okay, next. Read.
Mantras.
Yes.
Pronunciation of Rama should not be Ramo, but Rama.
Yes. So there's awareness of regional differences in pronunciation that should be respected. Next.
During temple arati kirtans, first chant Srila Prabhupada's pranam mantras, either before or after arati, Panchatattva mantras, then the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, which should be the primary mantra in every kirtan.
Yes, so we want to chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra more than other mantras. And some devotees are disturbed if the Srila Prabhupada's pranam mantras are not chanted in the kirtan. Of course, we should note that Srila Prabhupada never chanted his Guru's pranam mantras in the kirtan. So it's not out of the question. However, as ISKCON devotees, we have a standard. We want to promote Srila Prabhupada. So it's nice to chant Srila Prabhupada's pranam mantras. And some devotees get upset when we don't do this. So nice to do it. Okay, next.
Chant the Narasimha prayers after each arati.
This is Srila Prabhupada's standard that after an arati, the Singadev prayer should be sung.
Bhajans, mantras from BBT songbooks, and songs from Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas.
They can also be sung occasionally. Like this morning, Vaisheshika Prabhu was chanting Jeev Jago during the Kirtan. It's okay, from BBT songbooks. Like Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya. So this was often sung by Srila Prabhupada. And of course, next mantra at the bottom, who has a mic? Yes, go ahead.
Hari Harai Nama Krishna Yadavai Nama Gopal Govindaram Sri Madhusudana.
And this mantra, Srila Prabhupada said, should be included in the Mangal Artik, especially in Mayapur. So it's very important to chant. Okay, next. Okay, pass the mic to someone who is willing to speak. She already spoke. Thank you.
Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram.
Yes.
Only on the Ram Navami.
Yeah, Srila Prabhupada mentioned this was for Ram Nomi. So we should be aware of that. Okay? Once again, these are guidelines. We don't have Kirtan police, right? If we chant these things not on Ram Nomi, there's not going to be a Kirtan police car that drives up, and puts the handcuffs. But still we should be aware of these things. Okay, next.
Jai Sachinandana.
Yes. And? Continue.
Jai Sachinandana Gaura Hari.
Okay, that's not mentioned here. Next.
Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango.
Is it Gorango or Goranga?
Gauranga.
Okay, thank you. And next, the bottom here.
Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada.
Yes,
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada never objected to this. Okay. Prabhu in the back, do you want to join us for this? Yes? Okay.
No words or syllables should be added or subtracted to the mantras or songs as it is.
Yes. So often we see now in the Tulsi Pujas, right? People are chanting Ami, what do they say? Ami Radha Krishna. Yeah, they add Ami to me. But this is not in the songbook, so we should follow as it is. Especially because devotees get upset when we add things. And we don't want devotees getting upset in the kirtan. We want everything peaceful and happy. Okay, who has the mic? Okay, great. Next.
The chanting should be done first by the leader and then by the congregation. While the leader is chanting, interjections by the congregation of Chaitanya, Nityananda, Hare Hare, etc. are not encouraged.
Yes, we see this as a new phenomenon in ISKCON, as people go, Jaya Shri Krishna, Chaitanya, and all the devotees go, Prabhu Nityananda. Right, but this never happened during Srila Prabhupada's time. And some devotees get upset when we do this. I saw Prithu Prabhu get raging angry during the Mangal Artik in Vrindavan. Stop, what are you doing? Prabhupada never introduced this. And then that leads to further, we can say, deviations. That after Nityananda comes Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, right? And this never happened in Prabhupada's time. So I would encourage you all not to engage in this. It's like a game. People are turning the mantra into a game. And what I do as a kirtan leader to try to avoid this is I don't leave room. I sing longer, so there's no room for people to say Chaitanya and Nityananda. I sing like Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri. I don't leave that space. So if you don't leave the space for the Chaitanya and for the Nityananda, if you keep singing, then people like learn to back off. And sometimes 20 or 30 people will do it together. Mostly from Delhi side. Devakinandan Prabhu has experience. So sometimes I'll just smile and I'll turn around if I'm singing like this. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. If I know they're going to do it, I tell them don't do it. And then when it's their turn to sing, I go, okay, now it's your turn. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya. They all sing along. So that's my strategy for this. So keep in mind. Good luck. Because then after Hari Hari, then it'll become Rama Rama, and then Krishna Krishna. And Prabhupada introduced it as first the kirtan leader sings, and then everyone else responds like that. So that's a good technique, Prabhupada's method. Okay, who has the mic?
Chanting the deities' names towards the end of the Arati Kirtan is optional, as they may be glorified during the Premadani prayers.
Yes. So you know at the end of the kirtan we chant what's called Prema Dwani, which is Jayom Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajikacharya Astatar Shata Sri Shrimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhai Charnarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So Srila Prabhupada is glorified, and we can add the names of the deities. So it's optional. We can say Shri Shri Radha Madhava Ki Jai. So during the kirtan, it's not compulsory that we have to sing Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Jaya Panchatattva Jaya Panchatattva Jaya Nrsingadev Jaya Nrsingadev Jaya Lalita Vishak. It becomes a whole long thing, and we lose 5 minutes in the kirtan in this all chanting of the deities' names. So the Maha Mantra, the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, is the Yuga Dharma. Kaler doshinat he rajan, asti he ko mahan gunan, kirtanad yeva krishnasya, mukta sangam param vijet. It's the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra that's the Maha Mantra. So which will benefit us more, chanting names of deities or chanting names of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra? Maha Mantra. So many devotees, or I should say some devotees, prefer to continue chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra to the end of the kirtan. And even more than that, that's what Srila Prabhupada did in Srila Prabhupada's kirtans. So in all of kirtans, you listen to Prabhupada's recordings, he says Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jai Om Vishnupad. And then it ends. So that's how Prabhupada did his kirtans. So there's nothing wrong with doing kirtans the way that Srila Prabhupada did his kirtans. But we're so accustomed to doing it with this Jai Radha Madhava and Jai Panchatattva that people sometimes think, why you didn't sing it? Why you left it out? But Prabhupada never did it, and it gives us more time to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Who has the mic? Mic, kahan ke paas? Yes, go ahead.
Prema Dhani mantra should be recited at the end of the
Arati Kirtan.
Yes, Prema Dhwani mantras should be recited, Jayom Vishnupad, like that. And you can find these Prema Dhwani mantras in the Pancharatrika Pradeep Deepika, this orange book that's given out by the ISKCON Deity Worship Ministry. And then you can have a standardized Prema Dhwani. You know what to say. So that's good. I recommend everyone should learn the Prema Dhwani, because I believe everyone should lead Kirtan. It's not just those that are fantastic singers. Everyone should lead Kirtan. And sometimes people are shy because, well, I don't know the Prema Dhwani. So how can I lead the Kirtan? So please learn Prema Dhwani, Pancharatrika Pradeep Deepika. Who has a mic?
Be aware of the GBC resolution regarding chanting of Srimati Radharani's holy name.
So the yes, thank you. Who has a mic? Yes, okay, thank you. So the GBC in 2014, they made a resolution that we should only chant Srimati Radharani's holy name on Radhastami, and only a little bit, not like Radhe, Radhe, Radhe for an hour. It should only be for a couple of minutes. And one time, this came about because there was a Rath Yatra in Birmingham, in the UK. And some team of devotees were together, and they had big Punjabi drums, and they were chanting, Radhe, 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 like that. And they were just chanting Radhe, Radhe again and again. And Jai Pataka Swami Maharaj was there. And he told Mahavishnu Swami Maharaj, please go and stop them. This is not right. So Mahavishnu Maharaj went and said, no, this is not good. And they made like a barrier around the Kirtan singer. So Mahavishnu Swami couldn't get in. So there was practically a riot in the middle of the Rath Yatra. You know, it was practically a big yud. It was like Kurukshetra, Rath Yatra at Kurukshetra. So then they said, we need Kirtan standards. So a Kirtan standards committee was made, and the GBC decided that the chanting of Srimati Radharani's holy names should not be sung without the name of Krishna's name. And if we take account Srila Prabhupada's example, when Srila Prabhupada was in Vrindavan, and people would say, Jai Radhe, or Radhe Radhe, Srila Prabhupada would always say, 100% of the time, Hare Krishna. So Prabhupada was always a Hare Krishna man, and although he's a topmost devotee of Srimati Radharani, out of respect for her holy name and out of respect for his Diksha Guru, who was also did not chant a lot of Radhe Radhe, Prabhupada remained this Hare Krishna standard. And even today, I see a lot of devotees, when people in the street, they meet them and they say Radhe Radhe, then the ISKCON devotees will also say Radhe Radhe. So we should also take up this practice, follow in the footsteps of Srila Prabhupada. And when we meet them on the street, no matter what they say to us, we should always say, Hare Krishna. So, gender kirtan, who has a mic?
Gender Kirtan. Resolve. Kirtan leaders in all temple and public programs should refrain from separating the congregation into responding sections based on bodily considerations like male, female, young, old, etc.
Yes, so there was an ILS about 10 years ago, and one devotee was doing a kirtan seminar. And hundreds of devotees had come. And during the middle of this kirtan, he was chanting and he said, okay, ladies sing. And it was only the ladies responding. And then he said, okay, Prabhu sing. Prabhu sang. And then Matajis sang. And then Prabhu's sang. So suddenly we have this kirtan, which is spiritual, and we're on the bodily conception of life. Jivera Swarupahoy Krishnera Nityadas. We're not male, we're not female, we're souls, and we're servants of Krishna. And servants of Krishna are beyond this upadi, bodily platform. So many devotees were objecting to this, and the GBC made a resolution, I believe in 2015 or 16. It's called Gender Kirtan. Gender means male or female. So if devotees in your area do that, it happens also during Kirtan Melas especially. Matajis, Prabhus, just please don't engage in that, and you can bring their attention to this GBC resolution. So we have Kirtan guidelines, but this is a standard. This was resolved by the GBC body. We also have guidelines we're working on now. Some of the things we're discussing are guidelines. Okay, next, Mike.
Mangal Aarti. During Mangal Aarti, the morning melody should be sung.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this is the morning melody. Srila Prabhupada taught this to the Grihastha couples traveling to London, and he insisted on this morning melody. Prabhupada would stop kirtans. He would send Shrutakirti. He would send Hari Shori, his servants, go and stop the kirtan on quite a few occasions. And when people would not sing the morning melody, he'd stop them. And even today, now, often, even amongst Prabhupada disciples, I hear different melodies during the morning Mangalartik. Have you noticed sometimes? Who has noticed different melodies during the Mangalartik? You stop them. Yeah, we have a wonderful example with us. Devaki Nandan Prabhu is not afraid, not shy to implement Srila Prabhupada's standards. And if he feels something is wrong, if he knows something is wrong, he's not shy, he's not afraid to give the right instructions to the devotees, to guide them properly in their spiritual life. So sometimes I hear like, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. It's a great melody, but it's not the morning melody. Okay, next.
The Shri Shri Gudavashtakam could be sung one line each in favor of more chanting of Hare Krishna mantra.
So this is just a recommendation. You can sing two lines, but if you sing one line, you'll have more time for chanting Hare Krishna, especially if your artik is short. You want to say something?
Once Prabhupada told to Harikesh that the Sansar Davanal prayer should get over by the lamp time. By the lamp. When the lamp is being shown, it should be over by that. So if you sing 2 times, I have seen sometime devotee, they sing repetition, and Mahamantra only 2 or 3 times. Same way for Guru Puja. Just 1 time is enough. You don't need to repeat every time. Otherwise, Guru Puja going on, Aarti is done, but still the singer is singing. It is synchronized also with the Aarti.
So once again, vote in favor of more chanting of Hare Krishna. So this is nice. And interesting, I never heard this before, that Prabhupada instructed Harikesh that when the lamp is being shown, then the chanting of the Shri Shri Guru Vastakam should have concluded, and chanting of Hare Krishna should begin. Thank you so much for sharing that. Okay, next. Who has a mic? Please proceed.
Instruments.
Instruments.
The instrument should support the chanting and never overpower the sound. Chanting should always be heard. Here, be conscious of the volume of the instrument so that it does not exceed 19 dB, or hearing damage may occur, especially in small children.
Yeah, so when the volume of the kirtan, of the instrument playing, when the drummer starts playing boom, 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 when it gets too loud, then it's difficult to hear the chanting. So a good musician can play an instrument at a medium volume, but it takes an expert musician to be able to play very loud and very quietly. So it's really important. Always keep the Maha Mantra foremost. And in Juhu, they have a volume meter. It's called the decibel meter. You can see how loud, and we'll come to that soon, because Prabhupada didn't want the kirtans to be so loud. He said, it's the sound, you want to sing loudly in a mic, it's like the sound of a rakshasa. You know, so we should be careful. Go ahead.
B. Instrument players should follow the Kirtan leader in terms of both speed and volume. Don't make the Kirtan leader follow you.
I saw a video of Srila Prabhupada stopped the cartel player. He said, you're playing too fast. Don't make the Kirtan leader follow your speed. You should follow the Kirtan leader. Okay, next.
Mridanga players should aspire to play authentic beats according to parampara. They should avoid modern adaptations derived from contemporary music, etc.
Right, so we're offering this is an offering to the deity. This is regarding to temple kirtans mostly. Yes, Devaki Nandan Prabhu has a point. You can hand him the mic.
Nowadays, if you play the original tune of Mridanga or when Kartal, the newcomers, new devotee, they don't cope up with that. They don't cope up. Many, the tune also they don't know. Even Mridanga Kartal thing, they don't know. They only know the new one, but the old one, they have forgotten. Prabhupada personally taught how to play Mridanga. There one cassette is there.
Yeah.
Prabhupada teaching how to play Mridanga. Devotees should learn. I mean, I am a Bhakt director, so I taught devotee how to play Mridanga at that time. Kartal also.
Yeah, we want to teach the Mridanga beats as taught by Prabhupada, and as in the parampara, Narottam Das Thakur, Dagi Tete Nakadena, Dagi Tete Nakadena. And the cartels should be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But now the cartel players are playing 1, 2, 3, chicka chicka, 1, 2, 3, chicka chicka, 1, 2, chicka chicka chicka. And it makes it very messy, huh? Simple is best. Go ahead, Prabhu.
But I think we read this one already.
Yeah.
The following instruments should be played: mridanga, drum, and kartals. Bumpers and gong may also be played, keeping in mind the sound level precautions. In a small temple room, bumpers and gongs should be restricted in light to protect devotees' ears, except for major festivals. Additional instruments like harmonium, etc., may be added after the Arati Kirtans with the approval of the local management team.
So this is an important point, that during the artik, when the puja is going on, it should be mridanga and kartel, maybe wampers and gongs, not harmonium or other instruments. And the artik kirtan ends with the prema dwani prayers. Like the conch may blow, toot, 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 but the artik kirtan is still going on until the prema dwani prayers. After Jayom Vishnupad, then perhaps with the approval of the management, other instruments can be added, like harmonium. Can you give Prabhu the mic? You have. Go ahead.
Yeah, also Prabhupada said the harmonium can be avoided. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami never used harmonium. He said, even if you have to harmonium for sitting doing bhajan is okay, but not a standing kirtan. That was one thing. Second thing, that I remember once Jagat Guru Maharaj was leading kirtan, and one fellow devotee got this bumper, and he was playing. Then of course I stopped. Then other devotee was playing kartal, but he was going too fast. So Giriraj Swami told me that here in temple room is not meant for practicing. They should practice in ashram. Temple, everything you do for the pleasure of the Lord. So, Radharani likes best person to offer things to Krishna. So our best devotee who knows how to play the instrument, they should only play in temple for the pleasure of the Lord.
So get trained up first and then play for the pleasure of the Lord. Sometimes when I was learning mridanga, I would stand behind the mridanga player who knew, and I would watch and I would play, but I would play very quietly as to not disturb anything. So that's also okay. But as you mentioned, the temple room is not a place to practice the instruments. Yeah, this is actually a challenge in our ashrams that we don't have a designated place to practice instruments. So that's another topic we can discuss in the future. You have to go on the terrace or on a mountain top or something like that. Okay, next.
Mridanga should be the only drum in the temple kirtan.
Yes, we've seen the introduction of this kind of drum sometimes in the temple kirtan. Have you observed that sometimes?
They know mridanga now, only this is left some of the temple.
Yeah, especially outdoors. They're easier to play. This is called a djembe, D-J-A-M-B-E. It's called a djembe drum. It's very loud. It causes ear damage if you're not careful. And also it can cover the sound of the mridanga. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, mridanga bhajyo hridaya nache. When I hear the sound of mridanga, my heart dances. That's Bhaktivinoda Thakur. But he doesn't say, djembe bhajiya hridaya nache. He doesn't say when I hear the djembe, my heart dances.
They can go to Africa, one who wants to play that one.
Yes, originating in Africa, and if you do research, it's interesting, there's a story of how the drum emerged in Africa. It was a gift of a demoniac demigod. Okay. Yes, Prabhu.
Djembe, the people, they start to dance with the lower part of the body, because it's kind of the vibration that is encouraging the lower part of the body to move. The mridanga is encouraging the upper part to move.
Yeah, very good observation, Parabhakti Prabhu. When we hear mridanga, we go like this. And when we hear djembe, we go like this. Hare Krishna. Next.
The Arti Kirtan ends with the chanting of the Prema Dhwani prayers.
Right. And singing.
Singing.
Yes.
Tan, or alap in ISKCON, where the mantra is lengthened with added ornaments, showcasing one's skill in tapasya. It wasn't used in ISKCON Kirtans during Srila Prabhupada's presence, and is not suitable for Arti Kirtans. It may be allowed in other Kirtans with local management's approval.
So in the Kirtaniyas in ISKCON, they call it alap, right? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, like that. They just elongate it, right? And it goes on and on. So we call it a lap, but actually it's tan. I spoke with one classical Hindustani classical music teacher. He said the term is tan. And tan means you showcase, you demonstrate the results of your tapasya. I practiced every day singing for 8 hours a day. And this is what I learned to do. Saregama, regapama, like this. This is what I learned how to do. And I'm going to show you the results of my tapasya. So it's a demonstration. It wasn't used, so the mood is questionable. We want to serve the deities. We want to sing with the devotees. And when devotees sing for long, extended tons, then everyone else is just listening. They're not chanting. We want devotees to chant. It wasn't used in Srila Prabhupada's time. And so as during Arti Kirtans, no tan. Last year I was here in Mayapur. It was middle of Guru Puja. And then we were in front of Pancha Tattva. And devotee was leading Kirtan. All of a sudden he broke up into a lap, into a tan. So we don't want this becoming the next new thing in the Kirtan. It may be allowed in other Kirtans with local management's approval. This is a guideline. And I would encourage the local management not to approve. But if they want to approve, I won't object. Because it can also be used to attract people like that. If they're having a preaching program, it may be attractive. I have mixed feelings about this. Personally, I'm on the keep it simple and do it as Srila Prabhupada did it. That's my personal mood. Okay? Next. Mike is going back again.
Everyone, including instrument players, should also sing in response. And the congregational chanting is the essence of Kirtan.
Yeah, we see often today the mridanga players, the kartal players, they're playing so fancy that they're not able to chant. So I would recommend devotees at least play simply enough to make chanting the priority. Everyone should chant. And there's more in my slide deck, but we're at 6:20. So I think better I just stop here and let's have discussions. Okay? Yes, Prabhu.
I totally agree with everything that you say, Maharaj, but there is one problem. That most of the devotees in the world, they look at what is going on in Vrindavana and in Mayapur. And what Ramo and all these things all happen here. So the devotee, they watch television all over the world and they think that this is bona fide. So what we do, in a few days is starting the Kirtan Mela. And many Kirtaniya, I don't know about the spiritual practices, I cannot enter into that. But they sing Ramo. And all the world is watching them. So what you can do?
Yeah. So you keep the mic with you. So Prabhuji brought the challenge that the whole world is influenced by our centers, global headquarters, Mayapur, Vrindavan. And yes, it's true that what to do. So number one, we can try to create some standards in the Kirtan Melas. This is we just made an endeavor, we're in the middle of an endeavor to finalize Kirtan guidelines in the temple. Then we will establish guidelines with the mercy of Krishna in the Kirtan Melas. Then with the mercy of Krishna, Kirtan guidelines for festivals and for Harinam Sankirtan, Nagar Sankirtan outside the temples programs. So it's like 3-level stages. That's one thing we can try to do. Then education. We have our ISKCON Kirtan Ministry social media. We're making videos. We have a studio in Pandharpur where we want to start producing more educational materials. And we're open to your suggestions. We want to serve you any way we can. So please write to us, speak with me personally, and let me know how you feel we can improve. Okay?
Other suggestion that
yes,
you can write to MEB or VEB that whatever happens in Mayapur and Vrindavan, it goes all over the world.
Yeah.
Especially for the Kirtan part. So please, can you have meeting with all your managers and make sure your temple commander, everybody who is in temple, to follow Prabhupada's instruction, because whatever we do here, it goes all over the world. So, I just can give one more example, that once Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Cook, he came to Vrindavan temple and he was singing for a long time, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai, 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 Nitai Gauranga. And devotees were dancing and all this thing. And then Prabhupada heard this thing. So he told Harikesh, you go and stop it. Who is singing? Go and stop. So he went and he saw Bhaktisiddhanta Cook, Prabhupada got brother. So he went back to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, he's your god brother, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, going to cook. He said, so go and tell him to stop it. He said, but how can I do? He said, this is my temple. Go and tell him to stop and chant Hare Krishna. Prabhupada furious on that one. So one suggestion that please you give the, or request as a minister to temple leaders of Vrindavan and Mayapur to follow that.
Yeah, very nice suggestion. We have a couple of hands here. Can the microphone go back there?
And it comes from you, then I am part of MEB and BEB both. So I will.
Jai, I have access to the one of the devotees offering that service. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you so much for nice presentation. So my question is like this: if our ISKCON Kirtan ministry make one rules like this, whenever you do Harinam Kirtan before Prabhupada mantra, then Panchatattva mantra, then you can chant Harinam. Whatever rules come by ministry, then everyone should follow. But we cannot understand, we have need to stand Prabhupada mantra or Panchatattva or direct Harinam. So it's confused like this. So whatever rules, everyone should follow. So please proceed.
Thank you so much for your vote of confidence and your vote of cooperation. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thanks for the wonderful presentation. First of all, I think all the things that you have mentioned here, they are in regards to temple Arati Kirtans, right? But just out of curiosity, the GBC resolution that was passed on in regards to the male and female distinct,
gender kirtan.
Exactly. Is that also not allowed in the kirtan melas?
Yes, if they're in the temple room, it shouldn't be done there.
No, I mean outside the temple, of course.
So you're saying in a kirtan mela that's outside the temple?
Well, inside the temple campus, but outside the temple room.
I don't suggest doing it.
Okay.
Because it puts people on the bodily platform.
Right.
It makes people uncomfortable.
Yes, yes.
If I'm in a kirtan and someone does it, most likely I'll leave. So do we want people to be included in the kirtan, or do we want people to leave the kirtan?
Right.
Right? And then, it also leads to the boy-girls thing.
Right.
Kirtan mela is often done with young people.
Right.
And when young people get together, they may have mixed motives, like many of us have mixed motives in devotional service. And when boys and girls get together, what is one of the motives that may emerge?
I think is it like the responses which
Could it be attraction to the opposite sex?
Oh yeah, for sure, yes.
Could be possible, right?
Right.
Young boys get together, young girls get together. Attraction to the opposite sex may manifest.
Right.
So then when we bring this, aggravate it more, okay, now only Mataji, then everyone's looking at the ladies. It's an opportunity to look at, you're not supposed to be looking at the ladies, but when they say Matajis, then everyone can look at the ladies, when they sing. Now Prabhus. And it creates a dynamic that can be on the bodily conception of life. So I don't recommend it. And I would appeal to devotees, isn't chanting Hare Krishna the way that Srila Prabhupada gave it to us enough? Why do we have to introduce these techniques to make the kirtan more exciting? And what is it about the kirtan that is being made more exciting? Perhaps it's the attraction of the opposite sex. What do you think?
I think this is a very valid point.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Okay, we have Kala Sambhara Prabhu next. Go ahead.
Yeah. So Maharaj, I have a few questions. One is on the dressing,
Dressing.
So I noticed this in my country also. There's a Kirtanis, they're very good singers, very famous singers and all that. But they have the way they dress up, and they have a tattoo in the body, short sleeve, long hair, they have wearing earring and all that, And this is happening, some of the very prominent Kirtan leaders, Why these action are not taken? It's happening year after year. And it's spreading all over the other countries, So why no action taken?
Yeah. Well, I know of some kirtan leaders who resemble the description that you're giving. And I know senior devotees like Shivaram Maharaj and others have gone to them and appealed to them to dress in a way that's more modest, less showing, not keep the beard, not keep the long hair. And the devotees, they just resisted that advice given by the senior devotees and just continued on. I think personally, I can share that there are different kinds of people with different kinds of conditioning. And some people have the conditioning of a musician. And musicians, they like to go on stage and with their long hair and put on a performance. And some devotees also like to take on that mood. Personally, I would prefer not to see flashy clothes and flashy presentations, especially in the temple room for the deities. And Srila Prabhupada was very specific about the presence of the shaven face. And we have a point from His Grace Devakinandan Prabhu, who can perhaps help me.
Actually, our everything is meant for preaching. Our dressing meant for preaching, singing meant for preaching, and purity the force. So, if we allow this kind of devotee, if they don't listen after request and all this thing, I usually in Bombay or my zone, I just don't allow them. First I request them, otherwise I just don't allow them. Better to have someone, appears like devotee as Prabhupada has given. He may not be a very expert singer, but purity the force. He is following the Acharya. That will go a long way than so-called so. For temporarily, it may be very nice. Oh, wow, wow, wow. But people will take nothing home. No purification.
Maharaj, I have one more question, Maharaj.
Okay, you take your one more question, and we'll take 1 point from Kalasambar Prabhu, and I think we'll need to, we're supposed to conclude at 6:30, right? So we'll just take, can we go 5 minutes over? Take Prabhu's, you ask a couple of questions. Why don't we take Kalasambar Prabhu's last point? We'll close up because we're over time. Prabhu's there, Devakinandan Prabhu's.
So, thank you Maharaj for this presentation. It was very meaningful points. Maharaj, I have one question that many of the ISKCON devotees, they are quite popular on social media and many devotees follow them. However, if we invite them to temples, they charge a hefty fee. So, many times they are paid kirtaniers.
Yes.
5 lakh, 8 lakhs, 10 lakhs.
Yeah.
And they're devotees, practicing devotees. So many congregation raises this question that if temple invites these devotees, so they set a standard and devotees also in their functions invite these groups.
Yeah.
But we hear from Srila Prabhupada, hear from Bhagavatam that anything done for the sake of money is not pure. So, but they're devotees. They may be using that money for Krishna's service, I don't know. Yeah. So, is it right to do that? Not right? What should be our stand specifically for temple programs, Janmashtami, or temple functions, when some argue that it is a good preaching tool because they are very popular, but we are violating the principle that Kirtan should not be paid. So please throw light on this question.
Yeah, it's a controversial topic and different devotees have different perspectives. I know there's one famous singer named Anup Jalota. Have you heard of Anup Jalota? He charges a hefty fee. Devotees sometimes invite him for programs. And he drinks. And part of the contract is the devotees have to feed him and provide whatever he wants at the restaurant. He even eats meat. He'll order meat at the restaurant and alcohol, and the devotees have to pay for it. Plus, he sings publicly in the programs, and devotees pay him to do so. So that's an extreme. I have an objection to that. I would like to see that stop. And I would prefer Anup Jalota would not be invited to any more of our ISKCON programs. I feel that is wrong. Then we see what is to me more of a gray area. Gray area means not black, not white. We have professional devotee musicians who are highly paid when they do events, weddings, and samskars, and they do programs for yoga studios, and they get paid a lot of money. And some of them even have contracts with booking agencies that forbid them to do free programs. So then they're invited to ISKCON programs, and they may charge a fee. I know one such group, and some of them, sometimes they come and do programs with me, just a few of their members, and they don't charge anything. And sometimes they do programs, and I know that this particular group, they give 5 lakhs every month for the Kurukshetra project. So they do use their funds for Krishna consciousness. So I'd say it's a gray area. In Dwarka, there were prostitutes, right? On the roofs for Krishna. And they were devotees. So they're all, like I said, different people have different conditioning. Some people have the conditioning of musicians. So professional musicians, devotee professional musicians are also there. So should we bring and pay professional devotee musicians at our programs? I'm not sure. But definitely don't invite Anup Jalota. Okay? And I appreciate the service that professional devotee musicians do for spreading Krishna consciousness. They can go places that sannyasis can't go. Okay. So we'll just wind up. Your assistant has a question. Achintya Prabhu.
How can you monitor it? Because in a lot of these kirtans, they're outside the temple, you have gurus there, you have sannyasis there, you have GBC there, and it's done in their presence, and they're just getting bigger and bigger. So I think it's going to take, I don't know what it's going to take personally, because if they've been instructed, like you say, like people from Shivaram Maharaj and other devotees and still do it, then where do we draw the line? Because some of the kirtans are just ridiculous. You know, they go, ah, and it goes on for about 3 or 4 minutes, and then when you have the sannyasi there and the guru sitting there encouraging it, it's pretty tough. And these are becoming the new age kirtan leaders of ISKCON today. Anyway, just a point.
Yeah, so thank you for your comment. It was a comment and a concern that when the top level management is there present in the kirtan and people appear to be violating these principles, then what to do? So basically it has to come from top down, right? The top level management has to get on board. So fortunately we started the ISKCON Kirtan ministry about 3 years ago. So hopefully as we get moving and we start establishing our guidelines and standards, and the newer levels of management are coming up, the new GBCs, the new gurus, hopefully we can get that education in. And again, we're open to all of your suggestions and encouragement, how we can proceed with this. Okay? Yeah, don't look at you. But thank you for raising the concern. It creates an impact on my heart, and I'll see what I can do to serve you. Thank you so much. Okay, last point, then we'll show a couple of QR codes for those of you who wish to stay in touch. Yes, go ahead, Prabhu.
Thank you, Maharaj. So like Maharaj, last 8 to 10 years, I joined before, in 2013, I never heard devotee chanting Jai Guru Deva, Jai Guru Deva. Recently, after COVID, we are hearing much. Means people think, oh, my Gurudeva name is not there, so let's chant Gurudeva's name. Then they sing Prabhupada. Similarly, like in Prem Dhwani, like I heard from senior devotees like Bhanu Maharaj, he chants Gaura Premanande. Sometimes devotees think, oh, Nityanand name is not there, Nitai Gaura Premanande. Oh, Advaitacharya name is not there, Nitai Gaura Sitanath Premanande. So like these things are adding on. So it's very, very important to have Kirtan standard everywhere, so that devotee athlete, they are aware what should we sing. Otherwise, so many things will be added.
Okay, can I address those 2 points?
Yes, thank you, Maharaj.
Point number 1, Jai Gurudev. Srila Prabhupada objected to Jai Gurudev. He said, this is impersonal. Who's the Guru? Who's the Guru? Jai Gurudev. So we sing Jai Prabhupada, or maybe if I'm at someone's Vyasa Puja, I'll chant the name of the Guru, because that's specifically who it is. Then secondly, regarding Prema Dhwani, adding more and more to it, Pancharatrika Pradeep Deepika. This is the book, the deity worship handbook given by the deity worship ministry. Kirtan is a form of deity worship in the temple, and it very specifically explains what the Prema Dhwani is. So that is a directive that you can find out from there.
Yes, and one last thing. So we are supposed to sing Guru Ashtakam in morning tone. Like Prabhupada mentioned, Jiva Jago, we have to follow. Sometimes devotees, they follow Prabhupada. Although Prabhupada said follow this. So we are supposed to follow Prabhupada, not to imitate Prabhupada. So Prabhupada tone sometimes that is something different. Sometimes that alap is there in Shri Radhika Madhava Yora Pada, so long.
They can do a long note, huh?
Yes, that is alap, which is you mentioned alap is not good for arati. So Prabhupada mentioned so many times, Jiva Jago should be the tone for Mangal Arati.
Yeah, that's the melody.
Yes, that melody.
Yeah. So your question is it bona fide or not to sing the long
and
Shri
sometimes this particular line in Guru Ashtakam, the 5th line, devotees, they sing twice. Although there are 8 lines, the middle one is 4th, but why the 5th they chant twice is difficult to understand.
Mm-hmm.
Some light
you
on
you
that.
have to ask them their rationale. I don't know why they do it. I never asked them. One devotee, one senior Prabhupada disciple, Tattvavit Prabhu, recently approached me, and he also said he doesn't like it when devotees sing this long Shri Radhika Madhavayor Apara. He said he doesn't like it because he feels that the devotees who are singing it, he says he feels that they're giving some indication they know what is the Shri Radhika Madhavayor Apara. They know the mood of Radhika. That was his perception. That was what he shared with me. And that was his objection. So why devotees do it, I don't know. Okay? Yeah? Thank you so much. So I'm going to just show you a couple of QR codes here if you want to scan. And this is a longer presentation. Yeah, here's some QR codes. If anyone would like to take a photo and stay in touch, please do. I'm going to be here for a few more minutes. If anyone wants to meet me personally, please do so. And thank you all for joining our presentation today from the ISKCON Kirtan Ministry on Kirtan Guidelines. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.